The aim of this film is to help you learn techniques that can be used to organise workplaces. The first section was about one-on-one contact. Talking one-on-one with union members and potential members is one of the most critical things you can do to help build our unions. This second section in our series looks at dealing with members' objections. When we talk to workers about joining the union or getting more actively involved, we often hear objections such as,
"I can't afford it."
"I'll think about it."
Unions go on strike all the time.
"I'm only a casual."
We're all happy here.
"We can look after ourselves."
"I'm not going to put my head up."
"I'm too busy."
I don't want to cause trouble.
"I get the benefits anyway."
It can be really annoying, but it's important to not get into an argument. And this can be hard. You're only human. But what happens in an argument? Well, people dig their heels in and stop listening to what the other person's saying.
Look, I'm not interested, okay? I want to keep my job for a while.
Oh, so sit back and get all the benefits anyway.
I don't think you should be talking to me like that.
You're lucky I'm talking to you at all.
Oh, gee, with luck like that, I should buy a lottery ticket.
Hey, well, why don't you? Then it won't matter when they sack you, will it?
What are we trying to do? Win a debate? Or get a worker to join or become more active? Remember, the objection is often real for the person saying it. Acknowledge their objection and the person starts to listen to you. There's a technique which can help you handle objections. Let's have a look at an example.
Kathy.
Oh, Bashir.
Were you able to ask a couple of people to the meeting?
Look, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Bashir. I'm actually not feeling very comfortable about asking people to come to a union meeting. I mean, I don't mind coming myself, but I just feel that it should be the individual's decision.
Oh, okay, Kathy. Look, I totally understand.
Do you?
Yeah, you're not alone there.
Oh, okay then. Great. 3:15.
The other people in your section that you work with, they're working a lot of overtime too, are they?
Oh, for sure. I mean, on any given night, 3 or 4 of us.
And they feel as strongly as you do about the overtime?
Well, I don't know. I suppose so. I've never really asked them.
Imagine if you were to come to the meeting, we get some change happening, like I think we can, and you were to be paid for your overtime, and they missed out.
Would that happen?
Well, it's just that I think we'd be doing them a favour by extending them the invitation.
Well, you're a crafty one, aren't you?
I don't want them to miss out.
So we'd be doing them a favour.
We'd be doing them a favour. Would you let them know it's on?
Okay.
Remember, the more of us turn up, the more seriously management will take us.
Thanks, Bashir.
Let's go through the techniques the organisers used. Explore or question. Equalise or acknowledge. Elevate or handle the objection and move the workers' thinking. Exploring is an optional step, one you might use when people throw you an objection that's difficult to understand. For example, someone might say,
"Look, I don't believe in unions much."
Responding directly to this is difficult if you don't know what lies behind it. And by exploring the objection, you might be able to handle it.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that, Sam. What is it about unions you don't like?
I like to work, and unions just go on strike all the time.
This gives you an opportunity to deal with the objection because there's something tangible to talk about. Equalising is an essential step in handling objections. It means acknowledging the person's position or feelings. This increases the chance that they'll be willing to listen to your point of view or even shift their views. For example, if someone says they're concerned that unions strike all the time, you could say,
Yeah, stupid, isn't it?
Come again?
I agree with you. I wouldn't want to be part of a union that goes on strike all the time. I mean, the good thing about our union is that everyone has a say if we're going to go on strike, and even then, it's last resort, isn't it?
when equalising, try to avoid using the word but. It's like saying, I understand, but you don't understand. The next step is to elevate the discussion. Elevate is a word we use to suggest that you shift the worker to a different way of thinking about the problem. For example,
I think you join the union because you want to do something about your workplace.
at this point, it's also important to take the worker back to the basic issues of concern you've been discussing. Briefly go back through the steps of anger, hope, action. Try to get their agreement. This technique isn't a magic formula to overcome all objections, but it can help. Let's look at what does and doesn't work.
Sarah, g'day.
Good news for me, Sam?
Well, I've been thinking about my position here, Sarah, and, well, I think you're asking me to stick my neck out a bit. I really can't afford to get the sack right now.
I'm only asking you to contact 2 or 3 people. It's easy.
Do you know how difficult it is to even talk to people in this place?
You gave me your word. If you're going to back down that easily, you can kiss your full-time job goodbye.
Well, at least I've still got a job.
For how long? They're going to keep you on till the end of the week, are they?
Yeah, whatever. Thanks for dropping by.
Not very effective. Let's see it again.
Sarah, g'day.
Good news for me, Sam?
I've been thinking about my position here, Sarah, and I think you're asking me to stick my neck out a bit. I really can't afford to get the sack right now.
Feels like the walls have ears around here, huh?
Affirmative.
We often go back to the issue, in this case casualisation and job security, and try to achieve commitment to action again.
Are people really that scared of losing their jobs?
Look, management knows exactly what they're doing.
What are they doing?
Well, the moment you put a foot wrong, they drop a shift or 2 or you work the graveyard.
Is that fair?
Well, what's fair about it?
Look, it seems like there's probably a lot of people around here who feel the same way as you.
And you think they'd get together?
Worked over at Acme.
How?
Well, for a start, I wouldn't do it here. You said some of you sometimes get together for lunch around the corner?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about round the corner, lunchtime today?
Great.
See how the organiser acknowledges the concern and then moves back to the issue. Let's see another common objection.
I can't afford it.
Yeah, hard to make ends meet, isn't it? Some people reckon next bargaining agreement, if we get together, it could be well worth our while.
Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
You know the fees are tax deductible.
After acknowledging workers' objections, we can then use our more common lines.
Hi, Majid. Now, how did you go with people for the meeting?
Steve, I'm not sure if I can. Look, the company is going through with this anyway. What can we do? Together, alone, they will sack us. I didn't call anyone.
I know how you feel, Majid. It's true, in a merger you could get the sack. But this is the thing, Majid. If we're all together, we can make some noise. They'll forget all about you if you don't make any noise.
Look, of course they forget. But what's to make noise if you don't have a job?
Do you have any long service leave accrued, Majid?
A bit.
Outstanding leave, unused sick pay, severance pay. We're all looking for the unpaid super. It adds up. Thousands of dollars for each worker. When the employer moves on, do you think they're going to remember? See, that money gives you time to find another job.
Make some noise.
In a group, you can make a big noise.
I'll tell everyone at lunch, okay?
These techniques aren't guaranteed to work. The person might still object, but the technique lets you move on with the conversation and not get bogged down in the objection. There's one other technique that can be quite effective, known as isolating the objection.
Hey, Tula.
Oh, look, get lost, will ya?
Tula, I just want to ask you a question.
Oh, yeah, question?
Yeah.
Okay, Mitch, what's your question?
Okay, what is it about unions that you don't like?
You.
Me?
Yep, sorry, Mitch.
Yeah, okay. So if you didn't have to deal with me, would you join?
No, I can't afford it.
Ah, membership dues. Yeah, I understand. Ah, well, I've got to get down to the laundry.
Hey, wait a second, is that it?
Is that what?
Well, aren't you going to lecture me or nothing?
No. I know you don't like lectures. There was one thing. I was at lunch with a couple of the others, and we thought, if our union gets the meal allowance back in, and they get the wage rise, then that kind of covers everything, doesn't it? I mean, that's a double win.
Who was at the lunch?
I think Mitch has been doing a training course. Sometimes it's useful to narrow the objections down to one or two. This involves getting the potential member to say they would join except for the particular objection. In theory, if you can handle the objection, the worker is effectively committed to join. This next example, you'll see instances of Steve the organiser exploring, equalising and then elevating Margid's serious objections. And see if you can pick some of the processes he uses to shift Margid to the point where he will join his union.
Steve, you've been very helpful, but now with respect, I don't want to join.
Union dues too steep, Majid?
No, I can pay my own way.
Well, so what?
Well, sounds bad. I'm scared.
About what, Majid?
If I make a bit of noise, I might be the first one to go.
That's true, you could be. But if you stay silent, you could still be the first. Look, I just think it's unfair the way they treat you. How long did you say you worked here for?
5.5 years. Then they'll spit me out, I know.
Loyalty, eh?
They don't know the word. I designed the last brochure for them, free of charge. You think that's a printer's job? Invite me to the office, give me a big present, a bottle of scotch. I still had the card from the client that gave it to them. I don't even drink.
Look, Majid, I can't guarantee you your job, but last week some members of our union were made redundant. They got together, we got all their entitlements, and the company hired a consultant to help them find work.
True?
Look, will you talk to the others at the shift changeover or on the phone?
Oh, I will speak at the end of this shift.
I'll call you tomorrow, see how you went.
Okay.
Did you see Steve isolate the issues, explore, elevate, and then employ anger, hope, action? At the end, he employs a technique called closure. We'll examine it in the next section.